watching to an hour of enlightenment, in which theme is sex. Is it a problem? Let's start as we begin to worship this God. Is the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. He's worthy of our praise, worthy to be glorified. He has kept every one of us alive. Just begin to worship Him. He's worthy. God of wonders beyond the galaxy, but you are holy, holy. The universe declares your majesty. Father, holy, holy. God of wonders beyond the galaxy, you are holy, holy. The universe declares your majesty. Father, holy, holy. I surrender to you, and everything I give to you, and I surrender to you, and everything I give to you, withholding nothing, withholding nothing, withholding nothing, withholding nothing, because you live, Jesus, I live, and I have no fear of what tomorrow brings, because you live, Jesus, I live today. I live to praise your name. Imolete okukupada, imolete okukupada, imolete okukupada, imolete okukupada. Single life is what you gave me, and who I am is what you made me. Absolutely nothing without you. You. Absolutely nothing without you. Think you're too faithful to fail me, and you're too faithful to disappoint me. You've proven yourself in my life, and I've come to realize you're too faithful to fail me. You're too lovely to leave me, Let's put our hands together as we begin to praise God. In the morning when I wake up, and I will sing my praise unto you, my God. And I will dance, I will shout to you, and you will be my help for now and ever. In the morning when I wake up, I will sing my praise unto you, my God. I will dance to you, you will be my help for now and ever. Hey, my God is good, yo.
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 Jesus, now my best friend. I delight to walk out with him. He no get time to play me while you home. I delight to walk out with him. Jesus, now my best friend. I delight
To walk out with him, he no get time to play me while you.
I delight
To walk out with him.
Oh now, Jesus, now my best friend. I delight to walk out with him. He no get time to play me while you home. I delight to walk out with him. Jesus, now my best friend. I delight
To walk out with him, he no get time to play me while you.
I delight
To walk out with him.
Say, for everything you've done, oh God, oh, I throw a salute.
Oh Lord, I did hear that you is
For the life that I'm living, oh God, I throw a salute.
Oh Lord, I did hear that you is
Many blessings, many blessings, yeah, I throw a
Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Amen. Hallelujah. By the special grace of God, we want to welcome our audience, all our viewers all over the world to this special program, Hour of Enlightenment. Hallelujah. This is a weekly program by God's special grace that is meant to bring enlightenment to every one of us, to bring us into knowledge and understanding of certain issues of life that is meant to bless us more. Amen. So quickly, I just want us to bow down our head and let us give honor to whom honor is due, the Almighty God. Commit this section into God's hand. Shall we pray? Our Father and our God in heaven, we thank you. Eternal Rock of Ages, we give you praise, we give you glory. We are grateful for granting us this opportunity, oh God, to be in your presence. Lord, we return all the glory to you in the name of Jesus Christ. Lord Jesus, when you rose from the dead, O God, one of your major assignments is to bring enlightenment to people. You open the understanding of the disciples, O God, to the scripture. This day we ask, O God, you open our understanding to your word in the name of Jesus Christ. Thank you, Lord. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Hallelujah. Amen. So once more, wherever you are, we welcome you as you join us in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. This afternoon, by God's grace, in the hour of enlightenment, we are looking at a very sensitive topic that we want to throw light on, we want to share on, we want to discuss on. And as we do that, at the program demand, we have a wonderful guest speaker in our midst, a man God has endowed and empowered, giving wisdom on that area that have been a blessing to the body of Christ, as he will be sharing with us knowledge on that aspect. Wherever you are, you can also do your contribution. You have questions to ask. You can also send your questions either through our numbers on the screen that are showing now, or you can call the numbers on phone. We are going to pick it up, and we are going to also respond back to you and all the rest. So if you also want to contribute, you can call. As we pick, you'll be speaking. The last speaker is here. It will magnify your voice. Everybody will be hearing in the name of Jesus Christ. But as we proceed, before I introduce God's servant, I want us to look at the text we'll be taking at our starting point. The book of John chapter number 4. John chapter number 4. St. John chapter 4. Verse number 7. St. John 4 verse 7. There cometh a woman of Samaria to draw water. Jesus saith unto her, Give me to drink. For his disciples were gone away unto the city to buy meat. Then saith the woman of Samaria unto him, How is it that thou, being a Jew, askest drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews had no dealing with the Samaritans. Verse 10. Jesus answered and said unto her, If thou knowest the gift of God, and who it is that saith to thee, Give me to drink, thou wouldest have asked of him, and he would have given thee living water. 11. The woman said unto him, Sir, thou hast nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. From whence then hast thou that living water? Art thou greater than our father Jacob, which gave us the well, and drank thereof in him, and the children and his cattle? Jesus answered and said unto her, Whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall thirst no more, shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. Verse 15. The woman said unto him, Sir, give me this water that I thirst not, neither come hither to draw. Now verse 16, our point. Jesus said unto her, Go, call thy husband, and come hither. The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Jesus said unto her, Thou hast well said, I have no husband. For thou hast had 5 husbands, and the woman whom thou now hast is not thy husband. In that sayest thou truly. Praise ye the Lord. If you look at this scripture we read, we find out that Jesus met a woman, and at the end of it, after their interaction, there is something he made mention of. There is a problem he detected about the woman. And the problem, I believe, was what Jesus mentioned. He said, Go and call your husband. The woman said, I have no husband. And he said, the one you are even dating now, that you call your husband is not your husband, that's the 6th one. So what do you think must be the problem of this woman? For me, I believe that woman problem must be a sex problem. For she to marry 1 husband, 2 husbands, 3 husbands, 4 husbands, 5 husbands, 6 husbands. What is she looking for? What is her problem? What is making the marriage not to be stable or established? Is sex a problem in this matter? So, ladies and gentlemen, before we hand over to our guest tonight, I want us to appreciate him as he sits with us in person of Pastor TOCHUKWU ONYEKABA, all the way from Church of God Mission International Incorporated. Hallelujah. Let's celebrate him. Let's put our hands together and say, You are welcome, sir.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome. We are glad and happy having you with us in this studio. Amen. So, the question is on. We want you to tell us something on it. What is this human problem? Is sex a problem?
Actually, there are so many problems that could have happened in this situation, but we want to look at the aspect of sex. You know, I used to tell people this: when you have an excessive desire for sex, dating is not the solution. Marriage is not the answer. What you will need is to either go for counseling or prayer or deliverance. You notice that she moves from one man to another, and was never satisfied until the day she met Jesus. The moment she met Jesus and dealt with the problem that was the root cause of this movement, the same woman that everybody avoided became everybody's friend. So if you are out there watching us, or you are in the house here, and then you have this thing about sex that you can't stay one day without sex. In fact, if you have not had sex in a week, you're not yourself. Now, the answer is not dating. Don't go and look for a girl to date or say, once I get married, this problem is over. The problem is not over. When you get married, you will move from fornication to adultery. Reason is because whatever you do as a single man or a single lady, you will do as a married man or a married lady. If you are moving from one place to another with men, you can get married and not be able to deal with the issue. You will still go the same path. Because once you can't value purity, then you can't value your matrimonial bed. Purity is so powerful. Any man or woman who will say at the time of dating, I will not have anything to do with you, called sex, till we close the book like we should. When they get into the marriage, that woman and that man will be able to keep the vows they made concerning marriage. But while you are dating, you are sleeping about. When you get married, you will sleep about. There are no two ways about it. So exactly what happened to the woman, the moment she was able to come in contact with Christ, everything about her life changed.
Hallelujah.
Praise God.
So before this time, that means the woman problem was sex.
Well, there are other fundamentals, but at this point we are talking about sex. But there are other issues that the woman, I could talk about. Maybe the man that she was with didn't treat her well, or didn't know what her needs were. There were so many things that could cause the problem. But fundamentally, we're looking at the aspect, because when a woman jumps from one man to another, it's either she's looking for money or she's looking for sex.
Okay. Now we are looking at, from what you have said, you are looking at the marital aspect. What about the area of sex, in the area of teenagers, youth, the singles who are not married and all? Can sex be a problem in their life?
All right, thank you so very much, sir. The truth of the matter is that I will start by saying that the church has failed so woefully, in that we left the education of sex for the world to give our children. One of the places where we should talk about sex the more should be in the house of God, because it's an everyday challenge. Once a child is about 2 years old, the child is already exposed, because if she's watching the cartoon now have a section where kissing, hugging, and touching happens. And then if I don't educate the child from the day one, they say, listen, kissing, there's something called kissing, but kissing is not good for you at a young age, because if you start it, you will not be. I have to educate him on the danger of getting involved in this thing. Now, sex is not a bad thing. Sex is not what? A bad thing. God doesn't create anything bad. It is the application of it that is the problem. And the low understanding we have about it. Most of our young men don't know anything about sex. They were not told the implication, because I discovered over the years that there are things I can control and there are things I cannot control. And God gave me those things I can control to enable me prevent the ones I cannot control. For example, I can control walking into the room with you. Correct? We can control that. But I can't control what will happen inside the room. So the only way I can control what will happen in the room is not being in the room with you. You get what I'm saying? So it's important for me to be well educated to know that when God created sex, he said sex is only enjoyable within this parameter. If you jump out of this parameter, it will be a problem. Let me tell you this now. When God created you and I, he gave us what is called spiritual energy. Every human, male and female, has what is called spiritual energy, and that energy is given to you equal enough to carry you through life, fulfilling your purpose. That energy God gave to you is enough to carry you through life to fulfill your purpose. Now, the only place where this energy is depleted and destroyed is in fornication, sex. Let me explain why. When you sleep with a lady that is not your wife, you release this energy and you may not never see that lady again in your life. That part of that energy is gone away from you. So as long as you continue having sex from one lady to another, before you get to the age of 25, you will find out that you don't have much of the energy. That's what you call glory. They tell you that somebody has taken your glory or your aura. What makes you a person is everything about you that makes you to succeed in life. You have given it out to different women. If you look at the book of Proverbs, I was talking about it, when you give your life worth to strangers. Now, the best place why God created sex and gave it a place is in marriage. In marriage, your energy is not dispensed out or wasted. Your energy is recycled. Do you get what I'm saying? Fornication will drain your energy. Sex in marriage will recycle it, because you are sleeping with one woman, your wife. So you give, she will give back to you. You give, she will give back to you. But when you jump from one prostitute to another, one girlfriend to another, before now watch it go around you. See young men, 25, 30, 15, 18. Check their life. And if you make a close questioning, you will find out that majority of them started having sex on the age of 15. And whether you know this or not is immaterial. As long as you keep engaging in sex, you will keep losing something that is precious to you. So the best thing I can tell you is that sex is not for you when you are young. Sex is only meant for married people. And that was where God placed it. And by the way, sex is not love. So if the man is going out with you and he's saying, if you love me, sleep with me, that's not love. Sex is not love. If sex is love, What about the prostitute? The prostitute should be able to tell me, I love you, but the prostitute will sleep with Mr. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, even up to 100 in a day. And she has no affection for any one of them. They are only customers. But within the parameter of marriage, sex can be an expression of love.
Okay. Hallelujah. Amen. You've spoken well. You've told us that sex is not love, but sex is part of love. Hallelujah. And what we're looking at from your discussion, from your speech, you also made us know about sex education. Can we still talk on that? When is the right time for anybody to receive sex education? Because the essence of education is to enlighten us, to bring us to a place of understanding and maturity so that we can handle issues of life. So when is the right time for anybody to be involved in sex education, and how do we get sex education?
All right, praise the Lord. I will start by saying that from the age of 2, in our olden days we were not 2, but in the modern day world here, I started teaching my children things about sex from the age of 2. So I composed a song for them. Parts of my body that you cannot touch. And they sing it every day. So now, when they are playing together...
Can you sing that song for us?
I can't remember it. It's been a long time I composed it. Okay. We use it to play our words. Now, when they are playing together and one of them mistakenly touches the other person's bum, you will hear say, Daddy, Jessica touched my bum. Now, that's an indication that she knows that touching of that lip, the same way you teach them how to say daddy, say daddy, and the child says daddy, start telling them that there are some things about them. You sing it as a song. You form one song with them. Right? For example, the one I taught them lately is that when you tell a lie, you go to hell. When you steal a meat, you go to hell. So whenever somebody tells a lie, say you are going to hell, say you are lying now. Now, either way you look at it, something is being installed in there, because I say train up a child in the way the child should go. When the child is grown, that child will not depart from that way. When we have the high rate of sexual abuse and sexual intercourse in the world, is because the church has never talked about sex in church. There's a story I was sharing with Apostle inside, and something I had, some of people call it a joke, but the truth is that it happened for real. Yeah, a young boy went to school and came back. He was in primary school and came back from school, and somebody mentioned the word penis in school. They were having a young guys were talking, and somebody said, I have a big penis. And the guy has never heard the word penis, even though the thing is in his body. He doesn't know what it is. And so he got back home and he asked Daddy, what is penis? Amazingly, it's in his body, but he doesn't know. And the dad responded, because I don't want to call the church because we're on air. And the dad responded and said, penis is umbrella. Because he was trying to protect the boy from being corrupted. Ladies and gentlemen watching me from home, listen to me. If you don't tell them, the world will tell them for you. And when the world tells them, it will tell them in a corrupt way.
So what you are trying to say is that in sex education, we should not be ashamed calling the body organs the way the medical doctors call it, and the way the world, the slant the world is using.
No, we may not use the slant the world is using, but we must tell them that this is penis, is in your body, and this penis is good, but if you don't use it properly, you can destroy it. But
in today's world, during the secular, you find out that they coin a lot of these things to different world. They might not now, if the boy want to spin a girl, want to talk about certain body organs of the girl, want to appreciate and point a mind to read and all the rest. He might not call breast anymore again. He might not call your buttocks the way we call buttocks again. They have coined some kind of words. Is that also to read and all the rest? And if we parents don't put our ears down to know these things and all the rest, and this is the language they use in communicating in the school now, go through music. If you listen to the secular music, the things they call sex and all that they use in demonstrating sex is not those vocabularies we are using before again. So but to actually give a proper sex education, we the parents, we the teachers, both the church should be able to know, be informed, know what they are using, so that we can be able to interpret it to our children. Amen. So that's the point I want us to also get in addition. We'll proceed, sir.
It's important for us to be well informed about the word is saying. I listen to some worldly music not because I love it. I want to get what my kids listen to, and so I can be able to talk to them about it. And in doing so, it's important for you to know that the biggest way to get your child is to make that child your friend. For you to give that child a very good sex education, make that child your friend. Why? If I'm educating you and I'm not getting feedback, it's a problem. So if I'm talking to my child, for example, I'm talking to her about like my daughter, I will take my daughter out to any of the fast food. Then I'll tell her, I'm your first boyfriend, and this is how a true boyfriend should treat you. Alright? And I'll buy her anything. What do you want? We go to the counter, tell me what you want. And she will point the things she wants, and then I will buy it. And then allow her to deal with whatever, eat it the way she wants. And when she's done, I will not say to her, now you have eaten everything you want. Did I ask you for anything in return? She said no. I said, this is how a gentleman should treat you. And this is not the sum total of your worth. So if anybody offers you this and then demands something strange that I didn't demand, know that that is not a true man. That's a wolf. Even though he's wearing trousers, run for your dear life. So when I take her out, I remind her of this all the time. And the reason why I take her to this eatery is so that it will become a common thing to her. Because most of these people, if you watch American movies, watch their music, it is always money. They use, either they will bring a girl and they will start
as a way of influence, to influence.
Yeah, they throw money on her and all the rest of it. Listen, I tell my daughter, listen, you are not for sale, and there is no amount of money anybody owns that can make them own you. Because the truth is that if you don't tell them this, somebody can offer her 100,000. There was a video I watched. A girl was naked on the TV. She said, I don't hammer, I don't bang. Just one night job, 100K. She was lying on her bed, not wearing anything. Now, so you are worth 100,000. That's a big shame. And it is because nobody ever told her that no amount of money is worth your purity, is worth your virginity. No amount of money is worth the honor you carry as a woman that is not been defiled. No amount of honor. Even if the man has the best car in the world, it is not worth you. So when we pour these words to them and train them on it, when somebody comes with a car, they will tell the person, I am not for sale. Even if your father doesn't have a car, doesn't mean you will jump into the car somebody who has not seen it. So it's important for us to educate them and then give them their self-esteem. Tell them they are valuable. You see some women and some fathers call their daughters names that are strange. They insult them as if they're nobody. And for the first time in her life, is in the street, somebody say, babe, you fine. In her whole house, where she belongs, all she hears is idiots, stupid, foolish girl, nonsense, good for nothing. Just in the street, somebody say, babe, you fine. Do you know what that one will do to her? You will lose that girl that day. Because that's the first time she's hearing a good word. So she will begin to go to that side where that sound is coming. Even if that person wants to use her as a rag, as long as she can hear a good word at the end of the day, compared to what she's hearing from you. So it's always good, even if you're angry with a child, be angry, but draw that child back, so that the self-esteem is kept and that child will trust you to confide in you. It's important.
Hallelujah.
Praise God.
That's beautiful. Can we give God a big applause for the wonderful message you are hearing. Hallelujah. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. The audience, if you have a question, you either write it and pass it over to us, and those also viewing us, you can begin to send your questions or your contributions, or you can begin to call. Amen. We have Brother Joshua Uru, where you are, and also Godwin Emmanuel, Washington, Kenneth, also Tony Dosun. Thank you for being with us, and all others. So we are expecting your questions or your contribution, or if you want to add. But parabention from the audience, you have anything you want to ask, you either write it and give it to somebody who will pass it to us and others, or we give you the microphone and you ask a question and we'll answer from over here. And also, if there are questions that all of us have to answer together, you can raise up your hand and we'll also do that. Why God's servant will be going on in contributing. Cynthia Ugana is with us also. Oguna is with us also. Thank you, man. Hallelujah. Okay, sir. You've told us about sex education should be started early, from an early age and all. I want to also ask, who are the people that are qualified for this sex education lesson? Who and who can be able to give somebody sex education?
Okay, the first teacher, idea of a father or mother the child will see is the parents. So the first person that should teach a child about sex education is the parents.
Okay, the first person that should
teach those children is the parents.
Okay, now that you said it's parents, you also said one of the greatest epoch menard in the entire universe is caused by sex now. Yes. Okay, and if it is caused by sex, where are the parents? Because all these people perpetrating this evil, they came from one home or the other. So if the parents have knowledge about sex education, why don't they do it? Because I believe a person can only give what he knows. So how do you say about that?
Now, I will tell you one thing. There are two things here. Knowing something is one, and doing something with what you know is another. We have so many parents today that are so busy.
So busy, that's the point. So not all parents have the time.
So busy that they don't have time for their children. The question I will always ask you, why make them if you don't have time for them? If you love your career so much, get married to it and give your career everything, then leave children out of it. You can't bring people into the world and not have time for them. It's dangerous. You know, one of the most dangerous things that will happen to a child is abuse. You see, all these rapists you see on the streets, serial killers, where if you trace it back, some of them were abused when they were small. Most of them were abused
by their parents themselves,
either parents,
relatives,
teachers, anybody around them. Now, how do I help my child? You know, if you train the child and tell the child certain signs, and you say if somebody touches your bum bum, it's wrong. If somebody wants to finger you, it's wrong. Somebody wants to kiss you, it's wrong. You don't sit on the thighs of an elderly person, somebody that is older than you. Once you give them all those parameters, and then you go to work and you come back, and you don't even observe. Maybe your child is not walking properly. Your girl is not walking properly. She's walking and she's splitting her legs. And you just say, come on, walk properly. Get out of my front. What is wrong with you? That's all they say. But if you pay attention, you will find out that something is wrong with the girl. That close attention. Or the girl can even tell you, maybe you want to tell, say, go and stay with your uncle. Go to your uncle. I will visit them. And the child say, no, I don't want to stay with my uncle. Once you see a child running away from a particular person, is an indication that something is going on that is affecting that child. Now, you know, we never did know if Tama never recovered from the abuse of Ammon.
Yeah.
Tama never recovered. You know the reason why, sir? When she was abused, Absalom said to Tama, hide it, don't tell anybody. There's nothing destructive as a girl was abused, raped, and you say hide it. The Bible never told us, because from that day her life was never the same. So it's my responsibility to tell my children the things they should know, and then when they go to school, whatever the school is teaching them, I'm following it up. Because if you make all the money you make in this world and your children are wayward, it's a matter of the snap of their finger. Everything you work for over the years is gone. So what's the need?
So the point is that even though sex should be, the education of sex should start from the family.
You start from the family.
There are families that doesn't also know anything about sex education.
Well, obviously you have your wife, you got married, so you must know something about it. You spined your wife, you toasted the girl before you got married to her. There's no man on earth, no man, any man that tells me he doesn't know anything about sex education is lying. There is no
man,
you
sure?
Yes, no man on earth who does not have idea of what somebody wants to touch a girl or toast a girl, what he would do.
No. That's not the point alone. You know, when we talk of education, you know, education is not just all about knowing. You also said about application.
Yes.
That's when it is complete. It's not just to be informed, but the information should bring transformation. Or the Bible says God is a God of knowledge, by him actions are what we. Is that also? Somebody can have idea, knowledge, theoretical knowledge on driving, does not automatically make him a driver until he has gone through the road and all the rest. And as he keep doing that, then with that he can also educate somebody. So somebody cannot say, "But I read about driving from book, then I want to now teach you to be a driver." Do you think it will be possible?
So the point I was trying to make is this: as a father or as a mother, you may not be well trained in the act of teaching somebody else about this subject, but the point I'm making is this: even if I read from a book about sex.
Okay, so we have a caller here, Reverend Togu. Let's just. Hello, Reverend Togu. Hello, sir. I think let's put it on phone. Hello, sir. Yeah, we are hearing you. Okay. So go ahead with your question, sir. Yes.
When a child is abused by a Christian person, in the case of Ghana, Africa, and Absalom never wanted anybody to know about it. Because, yes, and then,
Go ahead, sir. We are hearing you.
And now, never wanted anyone, our brother, stopped out from reporting the matter because he has an ulterior motive. What if somebody is dropping on that kind of an ulterior motive?
I didn't get your question, sir. I didn't get your question. Hello, sir. I didn't get your question.
Okay, the question.
All right, sir.
Hello, we are with you.
Okay, so the influence of that person now has made. But now, what I'm trying to do now is that if hello, we are hearing you.
Yes, we are hearing you.
No, we are hearing you. We are hearing you.
Okay. Now, what I'm saying is that Absalom told Tamar not to report to anybody because Absalom not an ulterior motive. He was thinking of harming the brother who had denied his sister. Now, my question here is this: What if an influential person is in the country and the family of this young girl finds out, the family of this young girl finds out that this man, if we expose him, will harm us? What do you think somebody should do in a case like that? Maybe an influential person, an employer, somebody will employ
as abuse,
and then we will further approach that the employer is victim money in the country. How do you attack that kind of situation? Because we are now looking at somebody later who is more close, who is highly close than you. Now, if it happens to that kind of thing, what are the advice you can give to some parents to deal with the employer or to situation where the person is the influential person?
All right, thank you. Yeah,
Yes.
we get your question, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Reverend Tony Dogu, thank you very much. So, go ahead, sir.
All right, it's a very difficult situation for anybody to be able to deal with people who are in the physical realm more stronger than you in every aspect. In times like this, it is for you to make the first move you will make is to make your official report to the authorities and then pay more attention to your daughter. Make official reports to the authority. This is what has happened. Because one of the things I discovered about those that were raped is that when you report, the first question they will ask you is, what were you doing in his house? Why did you go to his house? Where were you there? Why were you not there? And all the rest of it. So that's why I said training a child is very important. That you don't visit people who are single or married, without other persons around the house. Because some of our daughters do some strange things. You can jump into a car with somebody you don't know and go to places you cannot explain. So, but if that happens, you take the matter to the police, report to the police. If after all your effort, no justice was given, trust me, if man does not give the justice, God will give the justice. Definitely. If man does not give it, if you don't get it from man, relax yourself, work on your daughter, because emotionally she's been damaged. As a matter of fact, if I was the one, the first attention is on my daughter. Because sexual abuse is something that tears a woman apart. So it's important for you to make sure her side, because something happened some years back. I think I will take this story to correct this. Something happened some years back. A girl was raped by another pastor's son. The girl, I think they went for a party. The pastor's son was having a birthday party. And this girl, also a pastor's daughter, came for the birthday party. And they were in the party. And the other pastor's sons put something inside her drinking that looks like a pill or something. And she dozed off. The next time she woke up, she was in his bed, naked. So she got dressed and left. Then pregnancy showed up. And when the pregnancy showed up, she went to the father and reported. I was shocked at the father's reaction. Instead of the father to draw the daughter close and console the daughter, chase the daughter out of the house. So there are things that can happen once anything has to do with sexual abuse. Don't hold your daughter responsible. Don't throw the whole weight on her. Draw her close, because she's been wounded already. She's been battered. Whether she gave consent or it was forcefully done. Don't throw her away. Draw her close. Because any further thing you do to her can lead her to her early grave. I beg you, parents, if you find yourself in this kind of situation, don't kill the girl. Draw her close. Console her. Speak to her daily. And out of this evil can come out something good when the hand of God is involved in it. So when you take it to the police, you might not get it, because there's a guy that slapped a woman, and it took social media spreading the news all around for the man to come out and apologize. Influential people are very difficult to deal with. That's the more reason why you must train your children not to be drawn to money, but to be drawn to men of respect. If a man does not fear God, he cannot fear anything about you. So if the man has no God view in his eyes, as a matter of fact, I tell people this: if a man believes in God it's not enough for you to date him. Can I repeat myself again? If a man believes in God, it's not enough for you to date him. Because even the demons, they believe in God. Don't they? Don't they? The Bible says demons believe that there is God and they tremble. Your boyfriend doesn't tremble. Demons, they tremble. Your boyfriend, no, they tremble. So if he believes in God, it's not enough reason for you to go out with him. He must believe in God and accept Jesus as the way of life. Otherwise, a man who doesn't hear God cannot hear you when you are praying. Don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. He will not hear. Amon didn't hear when Tamar was saying, please don't do this, my brother. Talk to my father, he will give me to you. Don't do this. Amon didn't hear it because he had no place for God in his heart.
Okay.
Praise God.
Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Don't forget, our question is sex a problem? From all that God's servant has said so far, and the question that Reverend Tony Odogo has sent to us, we can make a submission here that sex has a way of creating problems. And from the illustration we've used about Tamar, Amon, and others, we can see that sex brought problem to the family. And because of that lack of sex education, or having the sex education and not applying it, made them to make the guy to sleep with his own sister, which is insect, is that also, which is an abomination. But the result of it, look at it, death.
Death, killing.
The girl value, integrity and order, she lost her pride. She couldn't act publicly again.
And even the man in question, after, you know, the Bible says, and Ammon was sick in love.
Yes.
Listen, brothers and sisters, please, if you are sick in love, go for counseling. Don't go for dating. If you are sick in love, it is not love, it is lust.
It is
because
lost.
The Bible said the moment he had her,
he hated
her more than the love.
He hated her more than. So that is part of the problem that sex can cause.
Yes.
Is that also?
Sex is not love.
Then it also made the family to go through other pain.
Yes.
Loss of family members and other. So if we can prevent this lust of sex instead of love, I think some of this problem will be reduced. Praise the Lord.
Let me say some few things here before we go further, sir.
Somebody has some questions.
Okay, well, let me just say this and then I will take the question. All right. Love is not a feeling. It is not a sexual intercourse. It is a value you place on somebody. Love is value you place on somebody. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. So when love is in play, giving is a common thing. He gives as an expression of value. But when lust is involved, lust is pleasure focused. When you see a guy and you are talking with the guy, you know you can sense when the guy his eyes is on your breast. His eyes is on your breast. His eyes on he's just looking at you like this. He's doing like this. Sister, run for your dear life. He's not interested in you. He's interested in those two things in your chest. Once he has a view, he's done with you. Okay. So love is placing value on somebody. Right.
Praise the Lord. We have John Kemene, Honorable John Kemene, also worship. We have David Victor Blaze with us. And one of our sisters here, Cynthia Ugona, said, let them be free to discuss any kind of issue to the parents. That's what we're talking of. Relationship and parents' education. So the children should be allowed to be free to discuss any kind of
It's not right
matter.
for a child to raise an issue. Say, for example, mommy, what does it mean to kiss? And you say, shut up, get out from here. Who told you that? No. Allow the child to ask the question. Settle down. Because they say kissing, oh my dear, I will tell you what kissing is all about. And when you allow the Holy Spirit, he has a way to coin a word for you. When he coins a word for you, that child will never forget it. Now, my son read something in the book of Proverbs chapter number 5 here, and the Bible mentions something saying, drink from your own well. And my child asked me, what is the well? And I said, I pointed to my wife, I said, that is my own well. You don't have a well now. you will have a well in the future. But this is what the well looks like.
Okay.
Praise God.
Yeah. Our sister Cynthia also said, yes, parents, you are the best to introduce sex education to their children. Because if you fail to do so, they might learn it from wrong angle.
Yes, Sister Cynthia, you're very correct. We said that it's very important. Parents should do that so that the world will, so anything I hear from the world, I've already had it at home. It's been well explained to me at home. I know clearly. So when somebody said penis, I know what penis is. As a matter of fact, one pastor was very wrong when he taught me how he taught his children about sex. He called his 2 sons into the room and removed his clothes. Yes, he removed his clothes. He said, you see, what you have, I have it. The only reason why I am where I am today, providing for you, is because I control my own. So if you don't control your own, you see the prison house, you see destruction is waiting for you. I control this thing in between my leg. That's why you are in the house feeling very well.
Or is that what our sister mean by saying, Cynthia is still saying that we should be oral and practice in education, both the theoretical and the practical one. So the daddies should do that to the boys. The mommies should also do that to the girls.
You know that some young girls have their first period and they don't know what period is about. They start crying in school because their mom never told them that something period will come into their life. Some of them had it in school and other girls were laughing at them. You don't wait till she starts seeing her period before you educate her on it. You start educating her once she gets to the age of 8. Because to some of them it comes very early. So we need to teach them this thing so that the world don't teach them this thing and then how to use the sanitary pad and all the rest of them. You put them through all of these things. It will help that child to become well informed and not be deformed by the information of the world.
One of our viewers said, this is a sensitive topic, sir. We also have men who fall victim to abuse, in reference to Joseph in the Bible.
No, the highest, most abused people on earth are men. We focus on women. But when you see a young guy that is always going in, sleeping from one place to another with different women, that boy was abused when he was young. And those who abuse them are housemates. How do they abuse them? They either, I don't want to go wrong this time either, but either you have a boy or a girl in the house, as the father and mother, when you go and come back. For me, I don't have a housemate. I stop every other thing I was doing to pay attention to my children. Because I knew that if I allow them with a housemate, I may not be able to come the problem that will come with it. So I redirected myself and told my wife, continue working. But you see these children, I will stay around them to monitor what happens to them. The most abused 90% of young men that you see that are immoral when they grow up, they are abused when they were small.
I think that's what Brother Joshua is saying here. So please, sir, we should know that boys are also being abused sexually.
Yes, it's correct.
So this discussion should not be centered on ladies only being abused. Praise the Lord. So we have some questions here from the audience. Says, please, what is a holy kiss? Explain it since we are talking about sex. Romans 16:16 said we should greet one another with a holy kiss. And I know that when you were talking, you talked about telling children that when somebody wants to kiss you, those things should be left till when you are an adult and all the rest. So now this person is asking, what is a holy kiss? If I say there is a holy kiss, there must be another kind of kiss also.
Okay, let me start by saying that what makes a thing is the intent. So you know if the person you are kissing the girl, have you ever kissed a brother before? When he said give a holy kiss, did he tell you to sisters? Did he specify sisters in that scripture? So why are you pointing it to sister? You know what you want to achieve. Whenever we want to do something, we will find an answer in the Bible. The Bible didn't say give a holy kiss to a sister. So go and give a brother a holy kiss. Then yes.
And when God says something is holy, it should be sacred.
The intent must be clean.
Pure. It must be to glorify God. So now you ask yourself, if this your kiss meant to glorify God. I mean, there is another motive.
Something else very important.
Okay, somebody also asked, thank God we have Lizzie David washing. Also, thank you. She's with us. Then another person said, in as much as we should be careful where we go and who we associate with, is abortion the solution of someone conceiving through forced sex? That is rape.
Abortion is not a solution.
Now that we know that when we say sex is a problem, sex is a problem. Now, if somebody is raped, from the rapes we have seen that many become pregnant when even they were not prepared for it and all. And so, should abortion be the solution?
Okay, let me start by saying, you know, when things happen, we tend to talk about the problem, but we don't talk about the events before the problem. All right? A child of God, with the way God packaged us as Christians, we shouldn't be victims at all. Audience, please take this from me. No child of God was made by God to be a victim. So before you talk about rape, you talk about the person who was raped. Was he not warned? Was she not warned? There may be internal intuition that told you don't go to this place. But you are consumed with what you want to get. Now, there was a video that was online. That video trended for a while. It was a young girl that four boys, I think it was 4 or 5 boys I saw. From the picture of this, I can see 3 on this side. One was the one dealing with the girl. And the background story is this, that this guy has been dating this girl. Buy me school, buy me clothes, buy me this, buy me that, buy me the other one. I want to ask you, young lady, that keep asking the guy to buy you. Is he your father? Don't you have a father? And the guy kept buying and buying. And we called the girl, come and see me, and the girl will give one excuse. So one day she now asked for money, according to the story. The guy said, okay, the money, come to the house, I will give you the money. And now plan with her friends, with his friends, sorry. They were in the house waiting. As soon as the girl entered, they knocked the door. Say you have been chopping money, say today we will chop you. And they took off her clothes and told the guy, enjoy yourself. And they were doing it.
So that one is the carelessness of the girl.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to deal with. See, don't ask a guy to buy you anything, he's not your father. If a guy buys anything from you, he's paying you money for what you are here to do.
I think that's a fact. Is that not?
Yes.
How many of us agree to
it?
it? And many of them is because of these things they do for guests. Yes. They capitalize on, take advantage of.
If he asks you to sleep with him, you can't say no. Okay. I bought you phone of 120,000. I bought you iPhone of 350,000. And I say, okay, go out with me. Say no. Are you mad?
Praise the Lord. We have a question here, sir. So I think it's similar to something that the Honorable is also asking, Honorable John Kebeni is also asking. Said a lady and a guy has been dating for 4 years, and the guy is ready to take the lady in as his wife, but the guy is demanding for sex first, and the girl keeps on refusing despite the fact that the guy has been taking care of the girl and her family. And the pastor said he is the man for the girl. So the question is that guy really meant for her, or the pastor that said the man is for her is lying? What will the girl do in the situation? And also Honorable asks here that how can a man handle a situation whereby the wife does not have urge for sex? No, okay, the first one said, how can a lady handle a man who is sex drive? A man who is always demanding for sex, just like this one.
No, they're not the same question, but let me take this one first. I will answer the other one. Okay, if somebody is having a drive for sex, I will also want to believe that when both of you were dating, you saw this drive. If that drive, you didn't drive it the moment they got married. You've been driving that thing since before you were dating. So when you saw the drive where he was going to, you should have known that the guy is sick. So the best thing for you to have done, but if you have gone into marriage with him now, following the Bible instruction, your body is no longer your own. So you have to adjust to meet up with the man and then pray to God to also help the person.
That means from our question, is sex a problem? That drive, don't you think it can cause a problem in that marriage?
No, the
If
drive.
the lady cannot stand it,
No, see.
she can't accommodate it.
So, sir,
What about it can result to break up?
no, sir, listen. Women don't and men don't come into marriage with the same agenda. Man's foundational need of marriage is sex. Man is wired for sex. Man doesn't need to think about sex before he goes into it. A lady has to prepare for sex. That's why it's difficult. So when you understand that men are wired, now, a man can sit down here. Now, he's ready. But we take a lady 30, 40 or close to 24 hours. Some people say that you start preparation for sex.
So can you answer the second one?
The question again, sir.
That is a lady and a guy who have been dating for 4 years and the man have been asking for sex.
If I'm dating with you for 4 years, what is stopping marriage? What are you asking for sex? What you will have all the days of your life? If from the question the man is asking, what the man is demanding for, shows that he doesn't want to marry me. They don't want to marry her. If you are helping me and my family,
Yes.
and you are dating me 4 years, what are you dating?
Why has he not resorted to
Are we
marriage?
writing essay? Are we writing essay? What are we dating?
So,
So
okay.
the operation itself is suspicious.
Suspicious.
And the man is wealthy. You say he's helping the family.
Yes.
So what is stopping?
So what will the girl do in this kind of situation?
Now I will tell you this, and I will tell you from an experience. A young lady came to me and said, somebody said he wants to marry me. And he said, he wants to marry me, but he is demanding for sex. And I said to her, if the guy wants to marry you, tell him, oh yeah, let's do the marriage quick so you can have it to yourself. Don't give him any compromise you put. You will use compromise to sustain it.
Yes.
Don't compromise. Tell him that if you love me, take me to my parents, do the needful and I will be yours. You want it from morning till night, I will give you.
But did he do that?
She said, she left me, said, okay, and said, okay. You know, that's why people, when they call you daddy, he said, okay, daddy, I will do as you said. Then after 3 weeks, I haven't seen her for a while. 3 weeks, I saw her, I said, you are pregnant. He said that I was coming to see you to tell you that I went to see the guy, and he said, is it not just for us to, I want to be sure that you get pregnant. Once you get pregnant, we'll go and see my parents. And we went to one hotel and now I'm pregnant. The story has started. I said, but I told you before now, you can't eat your cake and have it. If the man truly loves you, he will do everything he can to have you. And part of the way to make a man move faster is do not give him sex. Listen to me, young people, young ladies. If a man succeeds in sleeping with you, marriage is postponed. What am I paying for if I'm enjoying it now? There's no need.
So it should be prevented.
You should avoid it at all costs.
Avoid it at all costs.
Avoid
Praise
it at
the
all
Lord. Hallelujah. Somebody is also saying something. And I think this something, somebody also saw this flyer in the internet and also sent a text message to me. Similar with this person's own. Say, nice topic for the youth to watch. Good work, Apostle. Keep the fire burning. Just the same thing, a pastor wife said the same thing to me, I think past week. And I replied back, you know when you talk of is sex a problem, people mind only goes on the youth or on the teenagers. But what I want us to understand is that the problem of sex is not only a thing of the teenagers, the youth. It's also a thing of fathers and mothers. We have seen husband and wife married for 10 years, 20 years, and still they have this problem of sex. Is that also? And when you look at even the Bible, talk of David. Is David not an adult? He's a king. But he had a problem of sex. Sex caused a problem to him because he couldn't control it. And that brought even trouble in his family, a curse in his family. Okay, we look at today contemporary time also. Have you not seen highly placed businessmen who are supposed to be so responsible? You understand that? Career-wise, professional-wise, that you exalt another. This thing is the problem to them. And it can cause their marriages to collapse and break. And we have also seen also pastors, ministers of the gospel, also who are supposed to be teaching people and guiding people. They are also having it. Not because they are not married, We have also had of people who have mistress. Is that also? They have mistress that they are keeping and all the rest. So I want us to understand that this topic goes beyond just the youth or the children, even to the adult, even to the fathers and the mother, even to what the parents. Some of the fight that takes place at home, quietly and all that they could not even say to anybody. Some are this matter. Either the woman has suspended the man dating somebody. We have had a situation where a man comes home and from his office and the woman find out that his cloth is stained by, or part of his face is stained by a peck from somebody with lipstick, and all, he didn't know that, and all that the wife discovered it, and all those become secret and all that. So it goes beyond the youth. It's for everybody in the name of Jesus Christ. Also, somebody asked here, how can a man handle a situation whereby the wife does not have urge for sex?
It's a very simple thing for you to do.
I think that would be a problem. Is sex not trying to cause a problem?
Yeah. If your wife doesn't respond to sex as she ought to, the best thing you can do for her is to help her. You help your wife. Is your wife. That's why you are the head of the family, or you are the you talk with her, because sometimes women take time to respond. There are some women that are fast, there are some that are not fast. Now there are 5 love languages. 5 love languages that we have. You will find the one that the woman you are married to responds to. If you don't take your mother's operation as a yardstick to follow your wife. My wife is somebody who, she loves affirmation. She loves you to tell her what you think about her.
You are doing well. Your food is sweet.
Your food is sweet. Oh, you're a sweet baby. You're lovely.
Your dressing is fine.
She loves it. That turns her on. So some other women, gifts. Some other women just want attention. Just give me attention. Just sit down with me and be looking at my face. So there are different love languages. Every woman has their own. It is now my job as the man to find out the love language that my wife responds to.
So via that you can now motivate her to have the urge.
Yes, you can motivate her.
Sex.
Then there are other things that you have to check is that some women, if there is no money in the family, if there is no money, it may be hard to get her to have sex, because there is nothing like romance without finance.
There is nothing like romance without finance.
When there is no finance, romance cannot work.
And when there is no finance, romance cannot work. And that means sex cannot take place. So is that not a problem that sex is causing?
That is not a problem. That's the more reason why, if you look at the creation of child, God didn't give Adam a wife first.
He gave him work.
He gave him first his presence.
Yes.
Then gave him being God. Then gave him a work. And as he began to do the work, and Adam was, listen to me people, Adam was completely whole. It was not Adam that asked God for a wife. It was God that made a wife. The world of today, the youth of today, you are still in your father's house. When you go and come back, your mother will give you food. You have a girlfriend. You are already buying her food. You are not paying house rent.
Yes.
When you come back, your father will give you food. You are buying food for a girl. You are crazy.
Very irresponsible.
You are very crazy. Something is wrong with you. You need a doctor, a counseling to be given to you.
But don't you think that that can also, for a child to be crazy in the house of a man who is not crazy? Don't you think that the parents have something to do that they didn't do?
That's what I'm telling you.
Or if the parents are also watching the life of the child, if the child can buy a phone for his girlfriend,
they may not
taking carry responsibility. No,
they may not know.
It must
they may not know. Such parents they have good money. They may
good
not
money,
know.
and they are giving excess.
They may not know. But in the real sense, the most important thing there is that I tell young people: if at the age of 18 you are still in your father's house, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Okay.
You should be ashamed. In Nigeria, we give it to 21. 21, you should be independent.
independent. Why is it important? You can never see the need of progress until you live where you are, your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Once a child moves and sports with a friend, that child will see the need to do something with his life.
To the age of 21.
I say in Nigeria. In America it's 18.
In America it's 18.
In Nigeria it's
21.
But
Okay.
today we see people of 32 years
Living with their parents.
still collecting money from their father. And then they collect it with fight.
They collect it to
They
fight.
collect it with fight and threat.
Is that right?
And it's a curse.
It's a serious cause on the person.
Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. We have Ngozi Sarah Ibuku Isama also worship. Hallelujah. There is also a question here quickly. Is there anybody from the audience who want to contribute? Let us know so that we can pass the microphone to you. And Robert, if not, somebody said, courtship that is void of sex. Yes, wanted to just throw light on it briefly, but after courtship that is void of sex, can use 2 minutes to do that.
Now, courtship is a period of asking sensitive questions.
The only thing that causes the problem here is in courtship, when you don't know what it is for, you will go into courtship and do
The very wrong thing.
Courtship is supposed to be a time where you ask sensitive questions. Question number 1 is, in courtship, bros, where do you want to be in the next 10 years?
That the lady should ask the man.
Ask the guy, because
Okay.
you are a helpmate.
Yeah, you are the helpmate, yes.
So what am I going to help you with?
Wait, in the next 10 years.
In courtship, you don't ask questions like, do you love me? No.
You don't ask questions like, do you love me?
Do you love me?
So it's destiny questions you ask.
The question you are asking is, where are we going?
Going.
What is your vision, blueprint of your life? What do you want to achieve? That are the questions you ask. And the guy will be sharing his vision with the guy and with the lady, and the lady will be asking, okay, if in 10 years we say we want to have our own building, okay, but what are we doing now to set those things up?
Where do I come in?
Where do I come in? Don't jump into a truck
Okay,
or
somebody's calling.
a car or a speed bike. Just come and say, let's just stop you. Are you going? You just come and say, I'm going. Going to where? Ask the right questions before you get into the car. Because if you don't ask the right question, you can get hit down on the way.
Hello? We have the caller. Yeah. Hello? Okay. We've lost the person. Let's go. Okay, go ahead. Let's go ahead.
So it is important to ask the right questions. Where are you going to? Then the guy will explain to you. The guy will explain to you where they are going to. Then you will check.
where he's going to, is it where I want to be? Where he's going to, is it where I want to be? This is how to know if you are dating the right person. For example, you ask a man, what do you want to be in the next 5 years? He said, what will be will be. It calls for you to ask yourself a question. Do I want to live with what will be will be? What if what will be poverty all the way? Are you ready for that? So you ask sensitive questions. You don't go to a courtship and you are doing fingering and touching. Of course, you know, if you get married, if it's 100 years both of you have together, you will do these things for 100 years. See, I used to think that you cannot do without sex. I'm married for 11 years now, and I'm telling you, sex is tiring. It's not as it used to be when I was a single man. So don't be in haste about these things. Take it easy. So you can have a courtship without sex. And the only way to have it is make sure you stay within the parameter of your future. Ask questions. If the person raise the issue of you look so beautiful, tell the person I know. But let's talk about the important things now. Don't let I love you, you are sweet. Don't go to eateries and the person using his leg to rub your leg. We did all of this so good. He's rubbing you your leg, you are smiling. It's not
under the table.
Under the table. It's not in your hand, you are smiling.
You don't know what you're doing to yourself. I've seen series of girls lose a guy they would have gotten married to simply because one night stand. That's all. One night stand. They had a great time together, and that was the last time. The guy never showed up again. There's nothing as precious as when you wear your clothes and the man cannot see what is inside. That keeps him coming.
Let's take this other question, sir.
Yes.
He said, is it reasonable to react when you suspect your spouse?
All right, that's very sensitive. If you react in a way, it will cause you a big problem. As a matter of fact, a child of God is not supposed to react. A child of God is supposed to respond. Let me explain. Reaction is a byproduct of your environment determining what you will do. Respond is you deciding what you will do in spite of what your environment is posing. So, if your environment is giving you a man who sleeps around, he's expecting you to come and say, today we will kill ourselves. Today we will kill ourselves. And then both of you come out in the streets and begin to fight, do all those things. Now, you know what you just did? You just lost the man to your opponent. A man came back and met his wife with a young man in his house. Every time I pray about this kind of thing, I pray that the heart of my wife will not conceive evil against me. But I pray that God will give me grace to always initiate, respond, not react. Came back and saw them in their matrimonial bed. He went back to the parlor and sat down. The two of them came outside. The guy dressed up, came out, was shivering to the wall. He said, no, young man, sit down. Sit down. He's our wife. He said, madam, prepare food for us to eat. Excuse me. And the woman prepared food out of fear, served them. The young man was eating and trembling. After they finished eating, he said, do you have transport to go? He said, yes. He said, if you don't have, I will give you. Okay, take this one and add to the one you have. And the young man ran out. That was the last time. If the man came and grabbed the young man and began to fight, the woman would gather power.
Whatever the young man killed him.
If the young man can kill him.
He can kill him.
So his behavior the young man cannot predict what he had in mind.
So that simply means that man was so mature that he didn't allow that sex issue to become a problem.
He was responding to the problem, he was not reacting. Reacting is you acting based on what the problem has created. Responding is you looking at the problem and deciding what to do. And so when he operated that way, every day, that woman, whenever he wants to serve the husband food, he knew that. She ran to the church and reported herself to the pastor. I said, sir, I don't know if I'm living with a human being or a ghost, but I've come to report myself. This is what I did. My husband caught me. My husband has not spoken anything about it. He greets me every morning, tells me how much he loves me, gives me a pet, gives me money, goes to work, comes back, hugs me, eats, goes to bed with me. He has never mentioned what I did. I'm no longer comfortable. That's the power of response.
That simply means that man, I think he must be born again.
Yes.
He has Christ.
He has Christ.
And that's the difference it makes when somebody has Christ and is filled with the Holy Ghost. It's not allowing the circumstance to control him, but it's allowing the Spirit of God and the Word of God to have the final say. So where sex will have become a problem is a matter of choice.
It's a matter of choice.
Individual knowledge about the issues of sex, what the temptation that can come, the trial that can come, and how to avoid it, so that it doesn't result toward a problem. But if that one wanted to be a problem, it would have been a problem. And anybody would have died in the sin.
Of course.
And other. Thank God it be allowed. That's what we can recommend to everybody and all the rest. But today, you know, there are people who can use that as a yardstick to say, I divorce a woman. How do you see that?
There are people who can take such decision. They have not done anything bad. They are only reacting.
and they are operating based on their level of understanding and ability of maturity of character. You know, people are not in the same level of maturity, so everybody will behave as mature as he is. However, if the person opts for divorce, he hasn't done anything, he has obeyed the scripture, because the Bible only gave a conjunction where you can divorce a woman is if you caught her in the act of adultery.
Okay, man of God, if you say that, the Bible said if you caught a woman in the act of adultery, you can divorce her. What about the Bible that asks us to forgive?
That's what
Where is the area of forgiveness? Where does the area of forgiveness come from?
It is,
and this is the bone of your bone, the flesh of your flesh.
It is the maturity of the individual we're talking about. Even if you taught him this in church and he heard it but does not believe it, he cannot practice it. Forgiveness is important. There is nobody that does not make mistake. Forgiveness is essential. But whereby you have a man whose heart God has not gotten hold of, and that's the reason why we keep saying, don't marry somebody who does not have Christ. Because the only reason why God always points you to people whose heart He's got control over is that when they are planning evil against you, God can talk to their hearts. You remember Jacob and his father-in-law. The father-in-law had regard for God. After Jacob took his 2 wives and ran away, and the father-in-law gathered his army and was pursuing Jacob. Now, a night before he will catch up with Jacob, he had a vision, and God appeared to him with a glass that is bent down and was looking at him like this, and called his name, say, listen, as you meet Jacob tomorrow, do not speak anything good nor evil to him. And he said to Jacob when he met him, he said, I came here to do you harm, but the God who you serve met me on the way. You know, there are some evil people that when God is even telling them, they will not listen. That's why you must get close to somebody who has the fear of God in his heart. So when he's thinking of divorce, just like Joseph was thinking when he found out that Mary was with a child, Joseph was thinking of divorce. He was thinking of sending Mary away, and an angel appeared to him and said, Joseph, my son, take your wife. What she has is not a byproduct of adultery, it's a byproduct of the Holy Ghost. And because he knows God and loves God and fears God, he listens to God. Imagine if he doesn't know God. If he announced that Mary was pregnant, Mary would be stoned to death. So it's important for you to go into relationship with somebody who fears God. When he fears God, there are certain things he cannot do to you. But if he doesn't fear God, like Ammon, when you are saying don't do this, that's when the spirit of do it will overtake him.
Okay, we have a question. Hallelujah. Somebody from the audience said you want to ask a question with the mic. Can we give Pastor David the microphone to do that quickly?
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
My question is something that happened in this community sometimes ago. You know, when we were coming up, my mom used to, I don't want to mention the name of the church, this thing happened because we are on air. My mom is one of the women leaders that cancels married women. So this thing happened that this young man, a fervent born again, and his sister, also a born again, got married. But on the day of their, on the night of their wedding, the brother discovered that the wife doesn't have vagina, where to penetrate. So in that case, as a brother, as a born again brother, what do you do? Since we are talking about sex.
Okay. And let's also see whether somebody from the audience has an answer to that question. You had a question. He said 2 people are to marry, a born again brother and a born again sister you could. But at the day of, he said what? Some days to the after doing their wedding night, first night, they now find out that the lady doesn't have vagina. Is that what you? There is nowhere to penetrate. So what do you expect the brother to do? A miracle. Go ahead. Yes, anybody from the audience or anybody listening to us The question there is that the brother is asking that two people in quote believers born again, after their wedding, the husband finds out that the woman is not having virginity. So what do you expect the man to do at church in time? If you have your answer, you can text it to us or you can call to tell us what you think about it. Yes, our audience, anybody? If you are in the shoe of the brother, what will you have done as a Christian born again? We are taking it from the now. You can see that sex ought to be a problem. Is that also? Because in the course of trying to, after marriage, he has kept himself. Is that also? And now after marriage, he believed that this is the legitimate time. He has fulfilled all commandments, only to find out that there is a barrier. So, yes, anybody before our guest? Anybody? Okay, let's give it to our guest so that I can answer it in 1 minute. Our time is fast spent.
All right. I would say this. When you are in relationship with somebody, that's why I say sensitive questions are very important. Transparency is needed. And when you find yourself in such position, you are into the marriage already and you discover this. The lady wasn't honest with you for whatever reason. The only thing you now do is to turn it over to God. I've been faithful with you. I didn't do what you asked me not to do. I kept myself. This is what I'm now facing. I think there was a young man, though his own was quite different from this story. The lady told the man, I am a prostitute, but I'm changed. But during my time of prostitution, I removed my womb. I removed my womb because I was not intending to get married. So if you want us to marry, I want you to know that I don't have a womb. And the young man said, no problem. I believe that you're my wife and I know that God can do the impossible. And they went ahead and got married. And they got married because there was transparency between both of them and they both agreed irrespective of what the man has had. There's an agreement between both of them to go ahead. And 1 year into their marriage, the woman was pregnant.
I mean, a miracle took place.
A miracle took place. So in this case, if I know the couples, there are questions I will have asked before I can give you any answer. Because such sensitive issue, the parents of the girl should be aware. The parents of the girl should be aware. There's no way, if it happened when she was a child, or it was an affliction or an arrow shot to her, the mother must be aware. Because how does she relate?
All these years.
All these years.
Like what? During the time of Christian, we are small. We are small things. From what I get of that conversation, she can urinate.
Okay, she can urinate.
She can urinate. The only issue that they observed here was that when she got to the age of human being, she never saw a period. She never saw a period, she can urinate. So that made it clear that everything was okay.
No, she never saw her period.
Yes.
It's an indication that something was wrong.
Medically or something.
The parents will have been able to communicate with the people who want to get married to the person. The girl should have been able to tell the guy, this is the problem. Why is the problem now is that there is deception in the relationship.
She didn't open up.
She didn't open up. So the guy can decide to opt out. But if he decides to stay, he's making a huge sacrifice to trust God to do the impossible. But I can't give a counsel to them till I ask the question I have in mind. Praise God. But in relationship, please, even if you have slept with some guys and you have done abortion, don't hide it. Tell your fiance or your fiance of your ex, I used to date this and this. You know the reason why? When he's aware, your ex can be angry with you and want to spoil your relationship. So when I was going out with this guy, we were into together. I took in at one time and we aborted it. be afraid to lose him. If he is for you, your yesterday will not matter to him. But where there's a problem is that if you didn't tell him, he assumes you are a virgin. Only for him to come in and discover somebody else is telling him, and this I won't marry, I'm public toilet. Yeah, no, you know that. But you have mentioned all of this to him. He said, I know. Thank you for your information. My wife has already told me. You are safe. And the danger of you not announcing your ex, your boyfriend or your girlfriend is you can fall back to them anytime. So both the lady and the guy should be able to talk about who they have dated before now. If possible, details of what happened between both of you. Now the information you share between yourself, it is not for you to use it against yourself. It's for you to be well informed about the person you're going out with. So I know where to help you. You know where to help you. Praise God.
Hallelujah. Let's give Jesus a bigger clap of praise. At least by the special grace of God, we've done something, we have achieved something. Before we call it a day, we don't know anybody from the audience that just want to chip in something or say something you have learned today before we call it a day. Just want to say anything you have learned today and all the rest before we go on the concluding aspect. Yes, anybody? We are coming on. Say something. Anybody? Okay, Pastor Dave.
What I want to say is that there's nothing too late. Though such a topic is coming at a time like this, I would like such a topic to still come back when this pandemic will be over, because I believe a lot of people, a lot of youth, a lot of men, a lot of women.
Yeah, hello, we are having a caller. Yeah, we are hearing you. Yeah, we are here. Go ahead. We are hearing you. Okay, go ahead.
If you allow the man to have sex with you, then the man will find out that the man will not marry you. So my question is that if the husband like the husband, they are open to our time to find out that what is the relationship they get at the boy that they are having a relationship with. And it's quite that the boy that is spending a lot of money for his, so I'm doing anything for that, but I was never asking for one. And some care that the girl will ask for himself, and the girl will choose. So what I'm trying to choose, because of what the day has heard, that you can have a man out of it, become like and run away. The girl wants to choose. Okay, why is it that? But they will not find out that the guy will now leave the girl and put another girl that and they will marry that girl. So in this situation, the guy did not ask for that, for sex at the initial point. He started asking for the girl before the issue of sex now come on. So the guy, when he got and because the girl denied the guy, so that was when he got married the girl and now for another girl that he didn't say. So in this situation, what advice are you giving on this type of scenario? That's what I just said.
Hallelujah. You add one sheet. He said a guy is dating and spending just like one of the questions. Then after several times he asked for sex again because of all this kind of teaching that you should not have sex with a man before marriage. And the guy couldn't control himself and went and dated another girl, asked for sex, and the girl gave it to him and he married her. And this girl is out of the scene. What do we say about church 18? What counsel do we give? I think it's very clear.
No, it's a very simple thing. Romance is not where you find love. If somebody truly loves you, he will do the needful. If you truly love a girl
and you truly know that this girl is for me. Now, asking for sex because you have been spending money on her is not biblical.
It's not.
It's not biblical. Simply because I bought something from you, it's not the reason why I should take advantage of you. Listen to me. Any man who takes advantage of a girl will answer to the father of that girl. I'm not talking about the biological father. I'm talking about the heavenly father. Make no mistake. If God is the father of that girl, you will answer to him. He's the one that blessed you. Did he take advantage of you when he blessed you? No. So if you are going out with a girl and you love the girl, 6 months, 1 year is enough for you to do the find this you want to find. You do your introduction. You do your introduction and you meet with the parents, pay your bride price, take your girl home. And if you want to sleep with her from morning till night for the next 21 days, it's your business. Doesn't concern us.
Hallelujah.
But whereby you bought her something and after a while you tell her, she said no, you go to another woman and have it. That man is not worthy of you.
And in the lady I don't believe a lover.
Yes, I will tell the lady that guy is not worthy of you. Watch that relationship. You will see how it will end. This is how the man will be sleeping with every girl he sees.
And the man think his money is
it's money now, because if he, as he has slept with you and give you money, he will look for another girl and give money. If you talk, he say shut up. Was it not money I give to you?
Somebody said here, Abasama Mike can say correct sir, 100%. Amen. So I want us to understand that we are looking at this issue not only from the secular aspect, from the biblical aspect and faith people of God. You understand? So the way the secular people looked at sex is different. The way they teach it and the way they say it, demonstrate it is different from the way God. We are Bible people, we are faith people. So whatever we are doing here, we should understand that we should end up from the biblical perspective and standard. From this question this woman has asked, to me we should give the girl kudos. We should clap for her. It doesn't matter what happened and all. Even though the man left her and go and marry another person, the Bible said, many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord deliver them from all. It's a temporary problem. God will give us the one that is us. Praise ye the Lord. So if peradventure you have been a victim of church thing, let that one not worry you. Don't let that one make you do something unrighteous. Whereby tomorrow another man come now, you say, the other one, it was because of sex I know this man. The one will call you don't do. They say you are a fool, you don't know, you be old school. That's what they will say. But in the sight of God, you are wise. You have done what you have done to please God. Because if you marry this man based on his own condition, know that you are going to live your life based on his condition. And marriage is not everything about your life. That's why Jesus told us, I think, if you look at Matthew chapter 19, from verse 10 to 11, when they were asking him about a woman, a family who married a particular lady and the husband died, another brother took her again, sleep with her, he died, about 7 of them or whatever, and none of them bear children with her at all. And they were all doing this so that they can produce children in the name of God, their own brother. But they asked Jesus Christ, which one of these ones in heaven will be the woman legitimate husband? And Jesus said, in heaven there is no marriage. Is that also? Marriage is something of this world at, and the end of what in this world at. And he also told us, he did not shy away from the sexual aspect and all the rest. He made us to understand that marriage is not all about life. What shall it profitable when you gain the whole world and lose your soul? So we need to secure our soul in Christ. So let us believe God. If just a thing happened to you, take it in good faith. Commit yourself into God's hand. Trust Him. He will bring the best for you. He will bring what? The best. We heard of a story from I think Papa Iyadeboye. He said about a lady who was courting with a man, and almost the day of marriage, the man absconded. He jilted her and he didn't appear. Today is the wedding. Tomorrow is the wedding. They didn't see him again. At that point, the girl cried to the extent she wanted to kill her, but they encouraged her. Then she gathered herself together after several years. This girl happened to get married to the first military governor of Lagos. And the man also, that her ex, went and joined the force and now become working oddly to that governor. And one day become his driver also. One day he came home with his oga to carry the wife for them to go somewhere, not knowing that it is that woman he killed. And now he carried two of them. They were sitting at the back. He's driving them. He is a driver. She is a governor's wife. You can see what God can do. If that time he jilted her, she had killed herself, this opportunity won't be there. So you should know that everything that happens, God can turn it around for your good in the name of Jesus Christ. So wherever sex has been a problem to anyone, either in your relationship, in your courtship, whether in your marriage, turn it all over to God. It's our encouragement to you. And God will heal it and take over in Jesus' name. Amen. Is there another one you feel? Okay, you were doing a contribution before that woman called. Okay, quickly.
So as I was saying, I said with we thank God for such a program coming up at this time, because this generation will really need it. And for the way the topic is coming out raw. There is no mixing one with it. I pray this pandemic will be over. We should do this more. Because for a long time, we in the Christendom, we shy away from these things. Nobody wants to say it the way it is. We keep pretending, we keep giving them holy names, and things keep going on wrongly. So I just pray after this should not be the last one. This should not be. But the questions that are coming, you know that people in and outside the church have a lot of questions they want to ask. So please, let's do this often. Thank you.
Hallelujah. Let's appreciate God's Sabbath. Amen. Okay, you want to say something? Quickly, give it to her. Our time is almost up. Let's go with us in case we didn't read your question again.
Praise the Lord. I want to ask a question. Is it right for a single mother to get married to a man that is divorced with kids? That's the first question. And the second question is, a married woman that has been with her husband for 7 years, and the husband keeps battering her every day, and one night the husband wakes up to tell her, I don't love you, look for another.
Please, we are coming. Hold your question. Somebody is calling. Honorable is calling from.
Hello?
Yes, sir. We are hearing you.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, can you hear us?
Yeah, this Pastor John came in.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to appreciate you and the pastor. It's a nice one.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. The thing is that God will give you more grace, more inspiration in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
And every family that is passing through sexual problem in their marriage, God will heal it in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honorable. We are really grateful. Thank you. The Lord bless you in Jesus' name. Okay, go ahead with your question.
And the man wakes up the wife one night to tell her, I don't love you, I'm in love with someone else. The following morning, he brought the lady he's in love with to the house. And this same lady, she's the one taking care of the house rent, the feeding and everything. Now she come across her ex, who is now divorced with 2 sons. And the man is asking her to marry him. She should go ahead to marry the man. No, and my third question is... Wait.
Take it. Go back. Our time is always go back with the first part. Put out some of the questions in the next season. Just the next week, because we have the part 2. So just answer only one.
I will take just 2 of our questions. It's very sensitive. The first one you said, can what?
Can a single mother get married to a man that is divorced with kids?
A man that is divorced with kids. What is the condition of the divorce?
The wife is married to someone else.
The wife is married to someone else.
Yes.
And left the kids with the man.
Yes.
Okay, the question there is that it's your choice if you feel that the man is somebody is what you want is in the man. But you have to ask yourself, why was he divorced from the first wife in the first place? You got to find out the things that happened. Because if
the divorce was as a result of sex, money, or any other thing, then you ask yourself, will it be the same thing with me? You need to find out these questions before you ever take a decision to go ahead. What happened? Then when you hear from the man, try to hear from the woman, so that you have a balanced story. Because the man will tell you the story the way you will sympathize with him. He will not tell you if he's the one at fault. You always paint it to look as if the woman left him to go and marry another man. But when you ask the woman and ask the man, you cannot get the two side stories. Then you will not, because if the reason is something common, then I will not advise you to go into it, because it will put to you. Then your second question. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Second question. Your second question.
Okay, my second question is this. A man and a woman that has been married for 7 years. She's the one taking care of the house
The
rent.
woman is one taking care of the house.
Of the house rent and everything.
Yeah.
The man wakes her one night to tell her, go ahead with another man, I'm not in love with you. And brings in another woman that he's in love with. Now this woman's come across, she stumbled across her ex. And her ex is
the woman that the man said he doesn't love.
Yes.
She came across her ex.
Her ex, who is now assisting her with everything in the house and wants to get married to her. And this man has lost his wife. He has 2 sons. What do you think that woman should do? She should go ahead and get married to him.
Okay. First and foremost, you said they were married for 7 years.
Yes.
And the man wakes up one morning and says, I don't love you.
Yes.
I
went to bring in another woman. Yes. You know, that's why I keep saying, when you are in a relationship, get a mentor. Mentorship is so important, because your mentor will see what you didn't see. When you bring your mentor before the man you want to marry, is not say, my daughter, is it the man? He say yes. How are you, my son? He say fine. He say, what do you do for a living? He say nothing. Okay, you're not doing anything for a living. Okay. So are you in school? He say no. Are you working? No. Are you doing? No. You are crazily in love. Your mentor is finding a problem that you have not seen. Now, if this woman had a mentor, the mentor will have warned her that getting married to a man where you are